Ready.
Man, that mission was nuts the other night, eh? That was so funny.
Good mission. Ready up, boys.
Ready, guys. Ready right, ready left. Ready left. Ready. Left team open fire, right team move. Move up, red team. Red team set.
User disconnected from your channel.
Red team move. Red team set.
Go, guys.
Guys, don't forget to reload.
User joined your channel.
Red team set. Red team, move out. Red team set. Blue team. Red team, move. Red team set.
Good job, red team. Good job. Keep it up.
Blue team set. Red team, move.
Righto, zoom all out as far as you can, just that all the lines and shit are gone. Everyone see those flankers?
Yep.
Yep. What's that?
Wedge.
Yeah,
Right,
wedge.
right.
Yeah, and it's heavy right, so... That's the corresponding formation for it, yeah? So the other fire team that'll be following.
Yep.
Unless, of course, you've been able to put everything on the left or right. So for the guys that weren't here last time, basically wedge is the formation we use by default. If there's no sort of special considerations to take into account, then that's usually what we use. And so if there was more than two, then obviously the third one would do the same thing the first one's doing, and so on and so forth. What we do is you have team leader, MG or MG, whatever you've got, whatever automatic rifle you've got, is right next to the team leader, and then the assistant for that guy is the one that tags on the side. So on that bottom one there, that'd be the machine gun. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Copy.
Sweet. So the whole idea of like left heavy or right heavy is basically if we knew we were going to get hit on the right side somewhere, we just didn't know where, then you'd go to something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's basically your wedge formation. Is pretty easy. You make a lopsided arrow basically, and obviously for whatever reason you had more than 4 people, then you'd have an even wedge because you'd have, you know, 2 guys on either side if you had an uneven number. So that's wedge. Formation line. Anyone know what that looks like?
Yep.
Yep.
So,
LMG
Yeah.
first.
No, that'd be
Sorry,
column.
that's the column,
so,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So line is basically your wedge flattened out. So yeah, it'll be Does that make sense? So the bottom one is the wedge, and that top one is the line, yeah?
Yeah, guys.
So
Yeah.
if we see go to line, basically everyone just steps up to be equal with each other, and that's your line formation. It's pretty straightforward. You make a line, basically. The only reason we go over is because people confuse it with column, which is the same thing, but basically facing, you know,
Vertical.
it is different. So line formation is left to right. Column formation is, I guess, back to front is the easiest way of thinking of it. So that's column formation, yeah? If the machine gun was obviously the front formation, yeah? So heading north.
Copy.
So machine gunner, his arse or assistant gunner, your team leader, and then his guy behind him, yeah?
Roger.
So basically that's how it works, pretty simple. Staggered formation is just two lines put together. So all you do is you have your other team like that, make sense?
Yep.
And the idea is to make sure it's a gap on your left or your right. So if you're the team on the right, if you look left, you should see a gap through the other formation. The reason for that being that you get shot from the left or the right, you want everyone to be able to lay down and fire to the left or the right without shooting each other. If you're all lined clear with each other and then you get hit on the left, then the entire right team is taken out of the fight because they can't shoot because they're going to shoot the left team, yeah?
Makes sense.
So for whatever reason, I don't think, well, we might not even use this tonight because we're in vehicles, but for later reference, for whatever reason, if you're told staggered, make sure you are staggered and you're not equal with each other. All it takes is for the lead guy, which is the machine gunner, to look to his left or right and stop for a second or two just to let the other formation move a bit more and then just pick up the speeding. Pretty straightforward stuff. We won't bother practicing it now. I might just load up the mission and we'll play.
What mission? Good idea.
We're going to play the common mission. So what we'll do is, very quickly before we get stuck into it.
Is that that first one that I tried the other day?
It might be. It's the one on Hazakot with the jackals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The instant death one.
So
Yeah, we did that
basically,
the
the way it works, guys, is that there's 5 teams to a 5 men to a vehicle, unless you're in the supply vehicle, in which case there's 2 of you. But basically, what we'll do is we'll try and fill up the jackals first, and then we'll have one person driving the vehicle, and they can just safeguard that. The way it's going to roll is once we get in, we'll sort it out into teams. Each vehicle has its own call sign. But basically we won't worry about the full call sign, we'll just call them 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, whatever numbers they are. It's just a lot quicker. If you feel the need to use the full call sign, then go for it, but all you need to say is 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 1, whatever you want. In terms of, very quickly, what we'll do is, if we've got a vehicle here, I think I do, righto, everyone just come over this way.
Put another recruit to it.
Just sit in the tent there, guys, and I'll call this.
Doing the second one.
Inappropriate.
If you want.
Put an X next to my
Target
name, I'll
behind
put
me.
X's next
Yeah.
to everyone else's name.
Beep beep.
You could ban me off the server, do not keep me from the Gentleman's Club. Trust me, I'll be back.
Sounds like a
Gonna
challenge.
Run you all over. So we're not going to get too in-depth with this tonight. We're just going to give a quick overview before we get into it, just so that everyone's not sort of running blind. The difference between the ones you're running tonight, obviously they're going to have guns. These ones don't. Kind of a slight difference.
Slight difference.
The only thing we're going to go over is that there'll be 5 of you in a vehicle. So once we go firm with the vehicles, the only people that are getting out are basically the driver and the other 3. The gunner on the top stays in, unless the team leader says otherwise. So if you pull up where and you hear the driver or the team leader say everyone out, the gunner is the exception. He stays in there unless he says specifically gunner out as well. Mainly because they've got 50 cals on top on grenade machine guns, so we sort of like to keep those up and running.
He's already out.
Unless we say otherwise, we're pretty much running the map we're going to run. We have to run on the wrong
That's the
road
first
because
time
there's
I've heard
mines
that
in the open
one.
ground. Other than that, we probably won't worry too much about going into anything else because it's too much time and I'd rather just play the game.
Yay!
But yeah, so the big thing to pull out of it, I guess, is that unless if the team leader says everyone out except the gunner, if you're the top gunner, yeah.
Top gun.
Let's find out who has nap.
You're the one, the voice, Jake. You're the one. We hear your voice. We move when you tell.
You're the
okay?
voice. Try and understand
Your
it.
voice, I understand it. Sing with me. Everyone knows to find them.
Hell
Your
yeah.
voice, I understand it.
Yeah. Make a noise and take a stand. Yeah.
Okay, stop. Fuck.
All you do is you run it.